20 people on, so I don't know if you want to wait a few minutes.
How's it look for a quorum, Lisa?
Let me check on that.
Okay.
Give us a second. This is our first one in person.
Switch through the slides if I'm in.
Yeah, everybody will do it. It's just for those next ones. Yeah, like through the resolution.
It'll be nice to not have to say. Thanks.
Use this one if you want to pull them up there.
We have a gap.
First
half.
More sound.
Just the first half of the year though, right?
Hey, Gary, it looks like we have about 10 members on.
Okay.
Okay?
We'll go ahead and get started then. That's all we need for a quorum, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. We're good. Okay, I want to welcome everybody this morning to the June TAC meeting, and I'll call the meeting in order. First item on the agenda is the economic development updates with Mark.
Thanks, Gary. All right, so the regional broadband feasibility study kicked off in November. That is coming to a close. We expect a final report this Friday. We'll take a few days to review that, and then we'll probably post that on our website under the library section. Very pleased with the work that Ice Miller has done with this effort. On top of that, Eastgate will be looking to bring on a broadband coordinator to pursue the recommendations of this feasibility study. More on that to come in the next couple of weeks. All right, the American Rescue Plan, the EDA received about $3 billion in increased funding. They have not yet released a NOFO to tell us what the guidelines for that funding will be. We assume that that will go to bolster the Public Works and Economic Adjustment Assistance Fund. Similar to last year with the CARES Act. This time around, though, $750 million of that will go to tourism, travel, and outdoor recreation. So that is a little bit different versus the industrial manufacturing. Our recommendations ahead of this release are to follow these new priorities: equity, recovery and resilience, workforce development, manufacturing, technology-based economic development, environmentally sustainable development, and exports and foreign direct investment. Basically, what happened last year is we kind of took a little bit too much time to get our applications in. So this time around, Eastgate has a template on their website. This will help you kind of organize your budget, your project narrative, the rationale, the partnerships. You could find a link to that template right here. Again, don't wait around. Be sure to complete any preliminary engineering, design work as soon as possible. If it's a construction project, seek out approval from your government bodies, pursue letters of support, and make sure to secure the funding that is unencumbered for the project. That's a big thing with the EDA. Doing the legwork now will save a lot of time down the road. We can get these projects in as soon as possible. Again, feel free to contact us at any time. We can help facilitate discussions with our EDA regional rep, Ellen Hines. She's very good with providing recommendations, corrections to potential applications, and she's very good at getting back to us in a quick and timely manner. Again, we're here to help. We want to get as much of this funding as we can for the region. And so let's try to get these in as soon as possible once that note is released. When that is released, we'll be sure to put all of that information on our website, and we'll make a full announcement to the members. That's all I have. Be happy to take any questions, and then also feel free to contact me. My phone number's there, my email. Thank you very much.
Okay, any questions for Mark? All right, thank you, Mark.
Thanks, Gary.
Next, Kathy's up. She's got an Eastgate ARC pre-app process and program updates.
Hey, Tim.
Thank you. It's good to be back in the room with everyone and seeing you virtually here too as well. But I wanted to begin with giving an update of our ARC Eastgate pre-application process. And applications were due last month on May 11th. We did receive 14 applications from each of our 3 counties. This year, we are requesting about $2.3 million in ARC funds. However, we know, of course, we will not fund all those projects. Typically, we get an allocation anywhere between $800,000 and $1.3 million. So as we move forward in our evaluation process, I'll have a resolution for you next month with those projects. And as we continue with the state biennium budget, we'll have a formal allocation dedicated for our three.
Yeah, I'm watching this. I think I'm muted.
Eastgate has been really involved with our legislators this year regarding our state biennium budget, as well as with our sister agencies. It's been very well received. We do anticipate probably receiving the same amount as last year, which is 1.3 million. However, there is support and we very likely will be getting a larger allocation. But of course, until the budget is finalized, we will just know more by the end of the month on that. Eastgate is also requesting additional funding regarding our administrative amount that we received to reach the same as our other three sister agencies. So that's where we are on the ARC pre-application process. And I'll have that resolution and more information for regarding the allocation for you on next month. The second item I have, this is one that I really enjoy. This is our Oak Ridge Summer Science Program. And every year we offer opportunity for our middle school and high school students to participate in a hands-on, all expenses summer science program that's held in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. It gives the students an opportunity to work with professionals and nationally recognized scientists. We want to put a spark so that they consider a STEM field as they look to starting a career. So each state sends in general about 6 students. So that's usually around 80 participants. And this year we've hit a record. Ohio is sending 14 students to the summer science program. So I don't know if our other states didn't submit applications, but with COVID, there's always a concern, but we're very happy to be sending 14 students throughout the 32 counties. Eastgate does have representation in there. There's a couple students from our region that were selected. That's going to be this July. And due to the pandemic, we're going to have a virtual option as well as an in-person option. So looking forward to those students experiencing the STEM opportunities there. And then the last item I have for you, it is official. We have a new federal co-chair that is Gail Conley Mansion, pardon me. And she is the 13th ARC federal co-chair. She was nominated by President Biden and vetted and approved by the Senate. She became our co-chair and was sworn in on May 6th. And Ms. Manchin comes to Appalachia with a wealth of knowledge. She is the former First Lady of the state of West Virginia and also an educator. So we look forward to working with her as well as our state and federal partners as we move forward with more economic opportunities for the Appalachian 13th state region. This, of course, is very important to us because without a federal co-chair, we cannot finalize our federal applications. And at this time, I know the village of Louisville is very anxiously awaiting her starting because they have an access road project that we are waiting for approval. So with this, we can move our federal applications forward as well. These are the 3 items that I had to discuss with you today. I'll be happy to take any questions. And you're certainly welcome to reach me. Now we are in the office, so you're welcome to call or email me as well.
Transactions.
Okay, then. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, Kathy. Okay, Stephanie's got the next couple items on the agenda. She's going to present the 208 update for Mahoning County and then discuss the Clean Ohio Round.
Thank you, Gary. Just wanted to bring everyone's attention that there's a General Policy Board Resolution 008-2021 that is up for the TAC and CAB's approval, which is amending the wastewater treatment language for Mahoning County. During the comment period, we did receive one comment that was integrated into the language, and the comment essentially focused on Ohio Revised Code 6117.51, which essentially discusses the distance between the foundation and where sanitary sewer is and how that applies to the connection type and the availability and accessibility of sanitary sewer. So that was the only comment. We did integrate it and it is before the TAC for approval. Moving on to Clean Ohio, our round 15A applications are due on June 18th this month. And on July 9th, the following month, we'll have the applicant's question and answering session, as well as on the 23rd of July, we'll have our final selection for round 15 applications. So encouraging anyone who may have a project out there for round 15A, if you have questions, please let me know, contact me, I can help you through it. All our information right now is up on Eastgate's website. You are submitting applications as of right now through Eastgate's website and not through the portal that we discussed last month. Around 16 heads up, it will open up on July 1st. We will, I don't know the amount that will be available at this time. It is going to fluctuate dependent upon how much we fund for round 15. But we know that we've had our regular allocation of $1.3 million for at least round 16. Applicant workshop will be July 28th. We very much and highly encourage those potential applicants and or the consultants who may be applying on behalf of an entity to attend the workshop to get the latest information as far as the application materials and the portal information. At that time, from round 16 on, you will be submitting applications to the portal, which brings me to the next slide where we are highly encouraging those not only from the Clean Ohio side, but the infrastructure side. Remember that you should and are encouraged to take the WorkWise training so that you learn how to apply for the funding online, as well as apply and receive disbursements through OPWC. So those things I wanted to bring to your attention again. Make sure you RSVP for those. They are upcoming. Any questions? You can contact me either in the office or you can email me at the address on the screen.
Okay, thank you, Stephanie. Okay, next Stephen's going to discuss the fiscal year 2023-2026 TIP development. Stephen.
Thank you, Gary. Kind of crazy to hear you say 23 to 26. Really shows that we're getting out there, and it really gives everyone a quick reminder of don't miss application deadlines. Get your applications in, or else you're 4, 5, 6 years out there. So just a quick reminder, kind of update today. You saw it on the slide title. We have CMAQ applications due Monday. Been getting a lot of questions lately, asking when upcoming funding rounds are, application dates. Reminder that on our website, if you see the mouse here on the tab, the funding tab, going to this funding page, always up to date, showing upcoming dates, important dates, letters of interest being due, applications being due for all of our funding programs. So specifically today, just to focus on the 3 that I manage, our surface transportation block grant program. We still anticipate having a small funding round this fall. Those dates are on there, October 1st for applications. Thinking a smaller pot of money, but we'll know more later this summer for sure. Next one, as I already mentioned, congestion mitigation and air quality program, or CMAQ program. Applications are due Monday. I think it says on the page that hard copies are necessary. If you prefer sending me a digital copy, that's perfectly fine as well. And then lastly, our transportation alternatives program, our TAP program. We're going a full normal funding round this fall. Applications due September 17th. 2 years lumped together there, roughly $1 million available. So just wanted to give everyone a reminder of our funding page and always keeping up to date there. If we have any questions on the funding page, any of the programs, otherwise reach out to me with application questions, more specific ones for sure.
Okay, any questions for Stephen? Stephen, the one thing I did notice, Ed might want to update those dates for the OPWC. I saw they were the 2020. So just for any communities that go on that funding link, just make sure that those are updated. I don't want people thinking not, they can wait till October. So just something to
Hang on
think
one
about there. Okay, next, Myrta, she's got a lot to cover. Next 3 items. She's going to give us an overview of the fiscal year 22 to 26 Transit Development Program draft report. Give us a status on the Trumbull County Transit Board and discuss the Trumbull County Transit STIP projects. Myrta.
I see what you're talking about, Gary.
All right, thanks, Ed.
Morning, everyone. I've got a lot of things to cover, so bear with me. The first thing I want to talk about is the Transit Development Program. This program is actually updated every year
On them, I mean, I'm feeling better.
in conjunction with support and information from the Western Reserve Transit Authority,
I didn't know if.
and also the Mike Sullivan, the Transit Administrator. The document actually states ongoing transit planning activities engaged by the Western Reserve Transit Authority and Trumbull County Transit System. The report is formatted into 4 color-coded sections. It is actually on our website. You can click on this link or go to our website on the top news and click on there to view the report. The blue section of the report talks about our bi-state urbanized area and how the urbanized area was formed. We are a bi-state urbanized area with portions of Pennsylvania. Transit funds come into the urbanized area, not like highway where it stays within their own state. The green section of the report talks about the services that the transit systems provide for their communities. So it highlights WRTA service, their fare structures, ridership trends, the same thing with Trumbull County Transit Board. One of the things with fare structure with WRTA due to COVID, they are still offering free rides until December 31st of this year. The orange section of the report shows new and proposed routes that WRTA implemented in Trumbull County or in Mahoning County. Those routes in Trumbull County were supported by a grant, a discretionary grant from the Ohio Department of Transportation. And I'll be talking a little bit about that later. The purple section of the report, it talks about, it gives the capital projects that were programmed in Eastgate's TIP. And the only thing that was programmed in Eastgate's TIP were WRTA projects. Later on, I'll be talking about administrative modifications that were done. Trumbull Transit is not fiscally constrained. You have to be fiscally constrained to be programmed in the Transportation Improvement Program and the state STIP. And I am accepting comments until June 17th for the draft report. The next thing I want to talk to you about is what's going on in Trumbull County. So the status of this, you've read a lot of things in the paper. I just want to give you some highlights of some of the things that have been ongoing throughout the year and a half or 2. The red items on this screen are still pending. These are things that need to be completed. The first portion of it is the resolution disbanding the Trumbull County Transit Board. The county commissioners back in February approved a resolution to disband the transit board. Their contractor was paid in full, and they are moving forward with disbanding the transit board. This usually takes about 6 months. August 4th is a deadline, according to the Ohio Revised Code, to disband the transit board. The next item on there is the 5310 funding splits. You've heard me talk about the funding splits. Those particular funding splits had to be redone as a recommendation from the Federal Transit Administration because Trumbull Transit System cannot apply for federal funds. Those resolutions were changed and redone for the Ohio portion of the urbanized area. Later on, I'll be talking about the coordinated plan. Any projects that come out of the coordinated plan will be funded through the 5310 program. Going back further down, the return of the designation of the 5310 program to the Ohio Department of Transportation. What has taken place in our urbanized area and in other areas, transit systems are giving back their designation to the state of Ohio like it used to be. And WRTA already started the process. Trumbull is in that process right now. Within a week or two, we'll be getting the letters mailed for the resolution to go to, or actually the letters to the state of Ohio and to the Federal Transit Administration. As part of that process, Eastgate will be putting together a resolution occurring with that, giving back that designation back to the state. And we need concurrence also from the folks in Pennsylvania. So this is a joint effort between PennDOT, ODOT, the transit systems, and the governors need to concur and agree to it. Next thing on the on this list that needs to be done is some of the files and getting those files and the recordings back to the transit administrator so that it's all located in one location. Mike Solomon has been working diligently with their people, the HBK, which is their financial people, and also their attorneys to get those files and to have them all in one location. When the website was taken down, those files that were on the website and recordings, we cannot get those at this time right now. I know Mike has been working to get those files and the recordings from the contractor. So it's been stated that the files have cannot be found. Moving along, we're looking at the financial. There has to be an audit done in 2020. They are currently in that process to finalize final payments of their what's in their bank account, and if there's going to be anything that's going to be transferred over to the county commissioners doing closing and finalizing and disbanding the transit board. So we have some tentative dates in there in August for that to happen. Regarding the coordination plan, you've heard me talk about the coordination plan. The actual coordination plan is under development. We're real close to finalizing that plan. Projects under the 5310 program come from the coordinated plan. Our area was instructed to do a coordinated plan for both Mahoney and Trumbull County by the Federal Transit Administration. So that is being done right now. So any projects that come out of the coordinated plan that will utilize 5310 program funds will be programmed through the WRTA, since they can file grant applications with the Federal Transit Administration. So if you see that plan and you have a project that you want to apply for, and it's one of the strategies that is identified in the coordinated plan, please do so. WRTA will be submitting the request for proposals, and I think it runs 2 consecutive weeks, but that's upcoming. So keep an eye out for that. And we'll post something on our website too, when the RFPs go out. The other thing I wanted to tell you and talk about is the regionalization effort. You've seen a lot of things in the media, and if not, have listened to a lot of county commissioner meetings on discussions on a regional sales tax to join the WRTA. That is not going to take place, and maybe in the near future it will. We at Eastgate do not recommend or asking people, you know, for the sales tax. So we are neutral. We're like Switzerland. So that is the decision of the county commissioners, and we want that to be known to people in our area. We do support regionalization regardless if it's transit or any other regionalization for our area. And the final stages of the coordinated plan, that's going to be completed pretty soon. So look for that. The next thing I have is actually a Alice administrative modification that the Ohio Department of Transportation had asked us to do. We currently don't have terminal transit projects in our TIP because they're not fiscally constrained. So that when data entry was entered for the STIP, some projects were entered. So we made that modification with the state to take those projects out of their STIP. And that concludes my report.
Okay, thank you, Murda. Any questions for Murda? Mike Salamone, Dean Harris, do you have anything to add?
I do not.
I do not either. Thank you.
Okay. And thanks again, Murda. Okay, now we're down to ITS architecture. We'll have an overview presented by Luke.
Hi, everyone. So a few TAC meetings ago, I talked about the ITS architecture update. And one of the things we talked about was the survey. So the survey is completed, but before we wanted to send it out, we wanted to go over it, show everybody what it looks like, and give you some information about it. So it's important that everybody fills this out because your input will help guide the study to identify technology solutions that can best meet your needs and a logical path for you to plan and assist for developing and implementing those solutions. So now you can see that this is 8 pages long, but you're not going to have to fill out all 8 pages. You only fill out what's necessary for you. So going down, you can see that there's 2 ways right now, but we have added a 3rd way. We're going to put a link on our website so you can submit it right from our website. Just fill it out and hit submit. The other way is just, Microsoft Word, you download it, fill it out, and then email it back to me, and then you can print it out and then email it back to me as well. So it's due Friday, June 25th, 2021. And we set that date, give everybody enough time, but we want it back relatively soon so AECom can get started on going through everything because it's for, we want to look at everybody's needs and specific to each community. So starting out, you're just going to give out, basic information, your name, the agency. So for example, it would be, Fire Department, Youngstown, or Mahoning County Engineers or something like that, and then email and phone number. So scrolling down, you'll see the agency functional areas. So there is traffic, public works, engineering, parking, and then there's road maintenance and construction and transit and stuff like that. So traffic and public works, engineering and parking, you guys are going to have the most to fill out. The only thing I'll add is that you might want to look into number 7.2, which is roadway maintenance and construction. You might also have to fill that one out depending. So just going through, we're going to look at number 1. It's information management. So you go down over here. It has, so if there's a high need, if there's a medium need or a low need, or if it doesn't apply to you, all you do is just go down and just click the box and it'll put an X. So you can do that for each one. We'll say that this is a low need. And then if there's nothing, that, well, if there's something that is there that you think you need to add, there's areas for you to put in there as well. So going down, this is pretty lengthy, but AECom wanted to make sure that they covered everything. So, nothing is left out. So there's traffic management's number 3, communications infrastructure, public transportation. So that's what the survey looks like. Other than that, nothing else to give a report about. You can email me or call me if you have any questions. And again, this is due on June 25th. That's all I have.
Okay, it looks like I got some homework there, Luke. Thanks. Okay, any questions for Luke? Okay, if not, yeah, we're down to the executive director's report. It'll be handled by Lisa today.
Thanks, Gary. I just have a couple of things that Jim wanted me to mention. He had a previous obligation. So as Kathy mentioned, our office is now open. We're following CDC guidelines and the state of Ohio protocols. Currently, our meetings will still be held virtually, probably for the upcoming months, but we'll keep everybody posted on that. And he also wanted me to mention that we will be posting 2 RFPs. One will be for the Voltage Valley Strategic Plan, and the other one will be for the Regional Utility Infrastructure Plan. Both of those will be posted by the end of June and will be on Eastgate's website as well as on ODOT's website. And that's all I had. If there's any questions, feel free to contact us and we'll give you more information on that. Thanks, Gary.
Okay, thanks, Lisa. I know Stephanie had referenced a general policy board resolution. Was that sent out last month?
No, we didn't have that included. We don't have any
Okay.
resolutions before the tax, so we will get that out through email. So
Okay.
I'll kind of shoot you guys an email with a description and we'll still try and pass that, like we usually do.
Okay, thanks, Lisa.
Mhm.
Okay, any announcements to come before the committee?
Hey, Gary, this is Nick with Planning Commission.
Morning, Nick.
Morning. I just wanted to make mention, I know Lisa said we're probably going to have virtual meetings. We've been paying attention to this because we have a board. Anybody else that sits on other boards or has a board of their own. The sunshine laws were obviously altered temporarily for the pandemic. I believe that's extended through July, but unless they extend it again, board members will actually have to meet in person. You'll still be allowed to do virtual and allow the public to watch and comment via Zoom or WebEx or whatever your virtual meeting of choice is. But board members will be required to physically be there to be in accordance with sunshine law.
Okay, thanks for that input, Nick. Anybody else have any comments? Okay, as everybody can see, July 1st is the next meeting. Stay tuned for that. If no further questions or comments, I'll adjourn the meeting. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Gary.
Thank you.